No, I won't take my flag down. Not now, not ever. Proudly displaying your country's flag, it's become some sort of dog whistle instead of an act of personal expression or patriotism. So I was told that the Canadian flag behind me, it might be a little too much for some people. I was advised to be careful or I could come across as one of those guys. You know, the guys driving around with the flag flying out of the back of their pickup truck, maybe held up with a hockey stick. Well, guess what? I'm not taking it down. If you've been paying attention to what's happening right around the world, it seems, you may have noticed that flying the flag of your country that you live in or the country that you're proud of, it could get you labeled as some type of intolerant extremist. For real. Loving your country doesn't make you a bigot. There's actually people out there who believe that proudly flying your country's flag, it's some sort of dog whistle, that it somehow implies that you hate everything about anyone else and the country that they come from. Absolute nonsense. You can't let anyone control that narrative, any individual, any group. When I was working on my set here, I got rid of the old shelves. When I was working on Canada Off Script, I really wanted to showcase Canadian lifestyle, Canadian talent, identity, Canadian pride. I was originally going to have a great big Canadian flag behind me made out of barnwood, which it looked really cool. But one guy said it may turn people off. It might make me look, again, like one of those guys. Or I could turn off possible guests from other parts of the world who may want to be a guest on the podcast, who may want to be interviewed, even Americans. It's a load of garbage. If I see a great big U.S. flag behind somebody speaking on the news or a podcast, I just assume they're a proud American. Good for them. Nothing nefarious goes through my mind at all. And what surprised me, though, was that the person who suggested this to me was also a born and raised, seemingly proud Canadian. He's worked in finance over 20 years. I describe him as very successful. He should be proud. What kind of brainwashing nonsense has he been watching to instantly jump to the conclusion that displaying your country's flag could be seen as problematic? You know, I can't just single him out, though, because I see this applied in numerous other countries right around the world these days, especially in the UK. Although I feel the need to point out that this type of backlash or the shame, it seems to happen more in Western countries. Western democracies where people are either afraid or ashamed to fly their flag because of what their friends will think of them or their neighbors. Proudly displaying your country's flag, it's become some sort of dog whistle instead of an act of personal expression or patriotism. Some people even try to use the word patriotism in a negative way. The good news is that I see Canadian flags flown in front of people's homes more than ever, and I think it's great. When I was a kid, we would travel to the U.S., and even as a young boy, I noticed and I admired how prominently displayed I would see the U.S. flag, flying in front of people's homes, in front of businesses. Sometimes every house on the street had a flag. I loved it. And even as a young boy, I was jealous of that sense of pride. I didn't notice it as much in Canada. And you'd see it on the products that they made as well. Made in USA, stamped right on the box. It was in your face. I'm not saying that that same sense of pride doesn't exist in Canada, but it wasn't as prominent. And you can see that pride when you get out of the populated areas. Bumper stickers in the prairies talking about Alberta beef, for example. They're proud, and they should be proud. And we should be supporting Canadian products. There seems to be a bit of a revival of Canadian pride. We have a tendency to take for granted what we've had our entire lives. It's natural. Some people treat Canada Day as just another day off. Listen, I'm guilty of this too, okay? But I've grown up, and I've seen the error in my ways. I have Acadian heritage. My last name is Acadian, and I'm proud of that. I celebrate National Acadian Day every single year. So does my entire family. Acadians are Canadians and helped shape this country. And we're proud of that. But we're Canadians first. The Canadian flag, it stands for freedom, kindness, resilience. A country that's always striving to do better. It's not about being better than anybody else. It's about being the best version of ourselves. And let me say this as well. To every Canadian out there flying a flag on your truck, your porch, your podcast, keep it up. You're not those guys. You're us. You're the heartbeat of the country. Yeah, maybe some of us use a hockey stick to hold it up, but that's not a stereotype. That's Canadian ingenuity at its finest. You don't have to wave a flag to be a good Canadian, but don't come after those of us who do. We're not the problem. So fly your flag. Hang it on your window, stick it on your truck, wear it on your shirt, show the world, show each other that we are proud to be Canadian and we're not apologizing for it. I see a rise in patriotism right across the board now, more than ever. Canadian businesses are making a point of stating that they're Canadian owned, Canadian operated, and I'm here for it. I hope you are as well. I'm Randall Arsenault, and this is Canada Off Script, and that's my flag. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, stay sharp, stay safe, stay Canadian.